Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
Now let's go to our task. Create custom report. You come here and then let's give this test 1 as the name. Normally, each project has a naming convention, right? For example, for reports, normally they say you use CR. Custom report, underscore and then the name of your report, or some says RPT, underscore the name, right? Whenever you are in a project, ask and check what are the naming convention that they're following. We use like INT, that is used for integration. Correct? INT is used for integration. For reports, it's either CR or RPT, depends on what your project is following. I normally prefer CR because it's simply custom report. And then you say test whatever one. Right? We are doing simple reports. Now there is a checkbox called temporary report. Temporary report is nothing but it's temporary after 48 hours. It gets deactivated. That's for that. Optimize for performance. Right? If you are from this database background, you know there is a concept called indexing. Right? If you build index on SQL table and if you query to that table, it fetches the result faster. Right? Similar way, since it's not database stuff here on Workday Cloud. What Workday has done is Workday. At the back end, they have done indexing on these objects. Not on objects, but on the data sources. Some data sources are optimized for performance, meaning there is indexing done. Workday says if you use those data sources, the report will run faster. If this is checked right now, let's say we saw the data source right. All active and terminated. And one more thing, you don't have to write the complete thing. Workday search works. Minimum is 3 letters. Right? All act and term. If you search like this, there is nothing right. It is something else. But now, if I uncheck this, optimize for performance and then search for that. All act and term. Then that will come up. Because all that is not terminated. Right? It is not optimized for performance. If your data source is not visible here, that means you have to uncheck this. Now you click on and it will take you in where you now have to add the fields. Let me add. What first name? And now you will say you know the field. You are typing it. But then you have to do your research. You go to that your business object detail page and see what all fields are available. Employer. How do you open a new window? It's like a right click or something. For what? For new window? See in people's office we can right click. duplicate, and then say you are cost center. Companies are randomly adding fields. And then these are the column heading overrides, meaning once you run the report, on the front end what column name you want to see, right? And right, if you don't give it, it will by default take the field in it, right? Let's not give it and see. Then you have second, which is sorting. If you want to sort it according to a particular field, like I want to sort it by employee ID and by ascending order, it will be like this. Then you have filter. Filter is nothing but putting where condition, right? I will put a filter and check which one. It is not necessary that you can only use the filter for the fields which you have selected, like on this report. They are 5 fields, right? But it doesn't restrict me that only I can filter on those 5 fields. I can use any field which is on this data source. Let me say location. Location operator. And you can see here there are different in the selection list. Not in the selection list is empty, is not empty. I can choose location in the selection list and then choose random stuff that I want these. Location employees only. Right. Now your report becomes that. Give some basic details. Name employee ID call center company for all the employees which are part of a particular location. If I click on, the report is created. Now I can run it. There, once you create the report, edit it and click on. It gives you button here, run and test. If you click on test, it will give you only first 10 rows as it is just for testing. And if you click on run, it will give you the complete result. Here it is giving me 11 records. Work. And if you click on the name, this is how your report looks. Now, if you want to run it, then these 3 dots in Workday are called the related action. You click on the related action and custom report, and it runs it like this. And if you have to edit it again, like say for example, now what employee ID write? This column name, you want to change it to just. Now what I'll do is custom report employee. I will give here a column heading. And let me run it. Now if you see, the column heading is changed only to the ID. Rest all is the same. And the rest other stuff we will see as part advanced reporting, because that's the same. But I want to show this how a simple report looks, right? Simple report is nothing but you choose. You give the name, choose the data source, give the name of the fields, do a sorting if you want, and a simple filter like this. That's why simple reports are of no use, because you can just do a filter and a sort and that's it. Nothing else, right? And here if you see, you have just one column of field. That's it. That's a simple report. I haven't seen anyone using it. It is just for your kind of validation. Via your integration, you are loading some data into Workday and you want to quickly see how many rows have been added, and all that. Then you just create a simple report because it is just for your own validation. That's one use case. But there also you can use advanced report. Advanced report is something which is more advanced than this. That has all the functionalities which a simple report has. Say this was a report name. Now you are on the home page. But if you want to search for your report, you just do ID CR_test and it will give you your report. And there is also another option. You directly search for data source, data sources. It will open up all the data sources that are there in Workday, right? You can go from the business object as well to there. This is another way. Now, you have finalized your data source, and you can in Workday. Whenever you see this kind of table and you want to search for a particular thing, just click on the header and it will ask you for putting a filter. I want all active. This one. Click on filter and it will only give you that row. Now you click on this data source. It will open up and you see these are the fields which are available on this data source, and these are the reports. There are some standard reports and there are some custom reports. This is the one which is similar to what my requirement is, right? And I can copy. I should build from this. What do is you do this, right click, custom report. Give your own name, CR underscore, and click on. Now what it will do is, it will automatically copy everything. Whatever fields are there, whatever filters are there, and all that stuff. Now you can just modify, delete whatever you don't need, or add something which you need extra, and resolve any error. Column field is invalid. For function constraint, that is because you don't have access to some of the fields. That's the reason. Did you get the method? Right? That's how it is. Now let me cancel. And then now search for our report, CR underscore. Now you see there are two reports. If you want to delete the report which you have created, do go to related action, custom report deleted, and that it will only one. I'll go custom report. It will be available on this option as we have seen, simple report. Now let's go to the advanced. As I've deleted the earlier one, let me give the same name. It temporal report stuff, which you know, now it has a separate thing. Enable as web service. Right? Enable as web service. This is a checkbox. If you select it, then this report can be exposed as a web service. If the report which you are creating, you want to use it in a report, in an integration, This checkbox has to be checked. If the intention of your report is to be used in an integration, in, out, it has to be enabled as web service. As of, we will not do it. We can do it like as right. Optimize for performance. I told it's for the indexing stuff. Lets you that same. Correct. The simple report. Only first 3 columns, right? And filter. That's it. This one has. That's why it is called advanced. And the other thing you see here in the table here in simple report, the first column was right. That's the same. Direct, you add fields. But here, the first column, you see, there is a business object as well. This one. The previous simple report was having only the fields. Let me give you. Let's do the same stuff. Just to show you that both advanced report can also do. The other thing was doing first name, sent, location. Right? You have the sort will behave the same. It this filter condition. Let me location. The selection list. Choose random one. Sim kind of. But click on run. It is giving me the data right, and don't think it is giving me more data. Because it is advanced report, not nothing like that. The filter is the difference. In this one, I think I have more locations compared to the other. That's why otherwise it's just the same, right? If I go to related action, which one you are saying we must, I saw paste option there. Yes, this one, test. What it will do is, like if I run it, it gives me 23 rows, right? But if I click on test, it will give me the first 10 rows. That's it. It is just say, for example, a report gives you 10,000 rows, right? And it takes 30-40 seconds. But you have done a change and you just want to see whether the column is getting data. You don't have to see all 10,000 rows. There you can quickly do a test and see my data is populating. Now let's see what is the difference. I'll click on edit. Now you see here business object, right? For example, I have this field called company. Now now I'll tell you the advantage of a customer advanced report. I have got this. Let me run it right. Now you see here we have the employee, ID name, call center and the name of the company. Now the requirement is that get the address of the company in the report as well. Now then what will happen is if you click on next, add a button and then put here address, address, address. Here you have company address. Right? You got the company address, but say you want the company address. Right, if you put the reference ID here, this is the ID. In Workday, every object has a reference ID, right? This reference ID is of worker, but we want the reference ID of the company in the same report. What we do is we can change this business object and put here company and then put the reference ID. Now what it will do is it will give the reference ID of the company and why it was possible here in this prompt. Here you will see all the business object which are related business object to worker. Any object which has a link with worker can be used here. Now if I click on and then you will see the last two columns of reference IDs. I'll click on run. You see here this reference ID is nothing but same as the employee ID because it was the reference ID of worker and this one is the reference ID of the company. How to see? If I click on this company, it opens this company up. And if you go to the related action in Workday, any object, anything which you are seeing in blue right, which is a link, has a related action. If you click on the related action and you go to integration, ID view IDs, there you see the reference IDs. Right, reference ID can be of different type. Here, this company has organization reference ID, which is this value. It also has a company reference ID, which has this value. You any questions, Far? To search a report, CR_test. This was just what we did is a quick overview of this. Another thing, let me show you how a worker profile looks. Let me search for a worker. To search any employee, the shortcut is you write worker : and then give the name, say this is an employee, right? This is how an employee is the name. This is how an employee page looks like. You can see your location. You can see your location, who's her manager, what organization she's part of, what's her business title, employee type phone, and all those details, right? And then this, if you click here, it has its job related data, career related data feedback, time off. Now, whatever you are seeing here will depend on your security. If I have my profile with which I am logged in, has the kind of administrator access, then I will be able to view all of his data. But if I don't have that right access, I will not be able to see anything here. Right? Everything here is driven by security. You can see personal data security, all that benefits, payroll, all that kind of stuff. This is how employee profile looks there for us events. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.